Hey everyone, it's Alex Savage from KTVU, Fox 2 News in the San Francisco Bay Area. And of course, during the coronavirus pandemic, a lot of school districts are having to get creative in order to be able to reach their students who are staying at home, obviously, for the time being. For more on a very special TV program that has been put together here in the Bay Area, we're joined by Inikia Ford Morthell, who's the Deputy Superintendent of the San Francisco Unified School District. Inikia, it's great to have you on here. The program is called San Francisco Loves Learning. What does the show look like?
The show is an amazing collaborative effort of San Francisco educators, teachers, Board of Education members, and even some students and family members who are coming together to create an hour's worth of content for our little ones. We have reading, we have dance and movement, we have math and science activities, we have a song every day, and even every now and again, a magic trick.
The superintendent, Dr. Matthews, right? He does the magic tricks. I heard about that. That sounds good. And so this is an academic program, but it's also it involves social emotional learning, which it seems to me is just so important at a time like this.
Yes, for sure. And what we know is that for our, in San Francisco, for our younger babies, we didn't focus as heavily on the device deployment or the use of technology to engage them. So we definitely sent out learning kits and books. So they're not able to really engage and interact with the adults that they typically do or their peers. And so this show actually gives them a chance to, be exposed to others in the school district and to kind of be engaged by adults other than their family members, and kind of have that connection, if you will, that's not available in the non-distance interactions.
Yeah, sure. So who is taking part, in putting the show together? How are you coming up with content?
Oh, yeah.
And who do you, I imagine it's just a big collaborative team effort and probably a huge undertaking.
Yes, I have much respect for all TV show production. We definitely underestimate the lift in terms of the technical piece, but have had so much fun collaborating with our educators in SFUSD. So we have teachers, we have administrators, some central staff, some of our board commissioners are on there doing read alouds. We've partnered with different organizations in our arts community. Hope to have a couple celebrity special guests, even though we all feel like celebrities now that we're on the show. And even some students who are giving us input on content, and then very soon are going to be actually on the show itself, doing read alouds or even kind of showing how they engage in different math. So it's really a village effect, kind of a family affair. Everybody you can think of has been having input either on the content itself or actually on the show.
That's wonderful. What has the feedback been so far? And as you're talking about this, I'm thinking, well, the show, obviously is going to air to an audience broader than just even your students there in San Francisco. So are you getting feedback from, either students who are within your district or beyond?
The feedback is more. A lot of people are wanting more. It's definitely, I'm not sure if you're a parent yourself, but so many of us who are now having to homeschool, right, are realizing just the amount of time it takes to engage our babies in learning. And so from a lot of family members and parents, they're like, we are so happy to have this hour, right, where our students can be engaged, but also we're not having to facilitate it all. From the students, the younger kids, we've had so many videos of the babies in front of the television kind of dancing along with Dr. Matthews or singing with our music teacher, or even quite honestly, like really captivated by the reading lessons and the math and science. I would say some of the other feedback is from our older students, like, hey, can we get a show?
They want to show for themselves. Yeah, right.
Themselves, right?
That makes sense.
Maybe that's in the works, but right now we're just getting a lot of positive feedback just around, across the board around the show.
And the reason, and the reason for that you're focusing on the younger set, the preschool age to up to the second graders with this particular program, is because of they don't have as much access to the technology, the tablets and things like that, and the Chromebooks that the older students are using at home.
So we deploy devices we prioritize our 3rd through 12th grade students. So that is exactly right. We have a couple of our younger students who are able to engage with their classmates and their teachers virtually, but just the capacity to deploy devices, to PK2 was a challenge. But we also know just developmentally, a lot of times those age ranges need a lot more support to use technology to
Yeah.
engage in learning. And so we prioritize the 3rd through 12th. And so then we had for the PK2, not only do we offer them learning kits and books, but we got a show.
Perfect. And again, it airs on our sister station here in the Bay Area, which is KTVU Plus, and it's every weekday. You're doing a show every single day. It's at 2 o'clock, right? 2 to 3.
2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. It opens with a really cute theme song that was made by the babies, by kids. I get to do the opening welcome. And then again, there's a number of different educators and folks from our community who are providing the content. And then a closure with our superintendent with his silly song, and of course a magic trip here or there.
That's perfect. And this is meant to I mean, are the younger students, do they, I mean, how is the curriculum translating for them into the home environment? Is this sort of meant to supplement any curriculum that they are taking part in at home? How does that work?
So it's a supplement, but it does not necessarily align to whatever it is that they're working on in their learning kits. So they were all sent learning kits that have various activities across subject areas. And many of the teachers are reaching out via email or phone call to kind of structure their day. You're going to do math first. Please go to the math packet and pull out this activity, or we're going to read about this. This is above and beyond that. So it's not to take the place of the activities that the teachers are sending out, and that is provided in our learning kit, but it's just a little something extra. As we know, it's hard to get the babies to engage without that adult interaction and that piece of connection. So we're trying to capture that with the television show.
Perfect. And I mean, and just an hour break for the parents. I mean, I can tell you that's that goes a long way when we're all working from home too. It's such a struggle. What is the best advice? With that being said, here I do. I mean, I have 2 boys, and it's just a struggle, trying to get them to engage with the work they need to do, keeping things on a schedule while my wife and I work at the same time. What is the advice? And I'm sure you're hearing the same thing from parents, all across the district. What is the best advice that you are able to pass along to parents at a time like this to kind of keep things going in the home and make sure that their students are getting the education they need?
Right. I would say first and foremost, as a parent myself, is just to recognize the realness of this moment, and really focus on first prioritizing the wellness and well-being of your babies, of your students, knowing that the work that we've shared with you and the things that teachers are sending out is really to be engaged in as your resources and circumstances allow. So just kind of giving ourselves permission to kind of take it easy and slow. That said, the more we can create routine for our babies, I think the better. And one of the things that's great about this TV show happening at a set time every day is that it starts to create some level of routine. I have so many kids who tell me, and families too, it's 2 o'clock, I'm chiming in. That's the one time of the day where the family can actually control the routine. But having some level of routine is important for students and for parents, quite frankly, during this time. But I would say take it easy. And then we're also actually creating more resources for our families where they can get ideas of how to engage the students in learning that's not necessarily teacher or adult led. And so we're conscious of the fact that it's hard to homeschool, even for us educators. And just,
there's no doubt about it. Yeah. Even if you're in the business, it's still a challenge, a huge challenge right now. Do you feel, from a district standpoint, how do you feel like distance learning is going overall? Do you feel like you're reaching all of the students?
Yeah. Alex, I will say that what we know about teaching and learning done well is nothing can replace that human interaction and all the relationships that are built in schools and the ways in which we, engage in dialogue, et cetera. And so we know that it is not the same. That said, we're really happy with the feedback we've been getting around our distance learning. We didn't plan for this, none of us did, right? And just the way in which, as a system, we all kind of came together and responded, I think it's been pretty tremendous. We've deployed, over 11,000 laptops and devices. We've given out 33,000 plus books, 11,000 learning kits. So we've gotten materials out. Of course, the challenges that exist are those challenges around connectivity and Wi-Fi, around what we just talked about, being able to work or otherwise run a household and try to support the students in their learning. So those are the things that we're hearing, and really trying to build our families' capacity to really facilitate this and deal with all of the stress and everything else that comes with a shelter in place and a pandemic, right? We're recently starting to partner more with our community-based organizations to also be able to provide resources and supports for both students and families. So I think, I'm proud of our district and our system and the partnerships that we've done to get things out and to support students and families during this time. And I would say, it continues to be a challenge and we have a ways to go, but I'm inspired by the commitment that we have to still try to reach each and every, even during these remote times.
Yeah. Well, in your district, like, every other school district in this country really was kind of thrust into this without a lot of warning, trying to sort of figure all this out, the distance learning. Can we look to the future here? Because I know as a parent and every parent out there is wondering what does the future hold for schools here? Here in California, for example, we've heard from the governor. He made this suggestion that maybe we might see schools starting earlier, maybe in July, kind of cutting summer short. Obviously, that got a strong response here. Do you guys have any sense of how soon classes might resume, and then also how much different is the school setting going to look and feel once kids do come back to class?
Well, one thing I can say for sure is that being thrown in a pandemic and shelters in place has definitely forced us to rethink what teaching and learning looks like. We had done a lot of work as a system to think about our graduate profile and the ways we wanted students to engage in learning, which included the technology component. This has thrust us there much quicker, right? We don't know yet when we're going to come back or what that's going to look like. What we're doing right now is planning for a number of scenarios, like I think many folks and many organizations and fields are. We know that if we come back or when we come back, we are prepared to think about how we do teaching and learning differently. And so I think there will be a lot more technology integration. I think we'll do a lot more to not just focus on the use of devices for learning and to demonstrate learning in the school building, but also how do we make sure that our homes and our communities are equipped such that when students are engaging that way, they can do so without issue. I think that was probably one of the biggest hiccups and learnings, right? Is that we had set up our school system and our school buildings to facilitate the use of devices and technology and those types of interactions. But when you transfer that to home, there were many families who didn't have devices at home or did not have Wi-Fi or internet. And so all those, issues presented challenges. And I think we've been addressing those challenges so that whatever it looks like, in the fall, we'll be ready to engage in the brick and mortar, if you will, as well as, remotely if we need to.
Yeah, who knows how this is all going to look? It's certainly going to look a lot different once classes do resume. As we wrap up here, Ford, one last reminder for folks: if they are in the Greater Bay Area and they want to check out the program that the San Francisco School District is putting together, one last time, the show that you and other educators are taking part in is called what?
Yay! SFS loves learning. And it airs on KTVU Plus Monday through Friday, 2 to 3.
What if someone's outside of the area? Is it streaming online too?
It's all over the Bay Area. We actually also have it on our SFUSD website, so sfusd.edu. So folks, anybody can go on and see it there.
Perfect.
It's quite a show. It's pretty amazing for the turnaround.
Good. Well, we're very proud of you guys, and I think it's a wonderful way to reach students right now when you can't have them in the classroom. It's the perfect thing for a time like this. So we're really proud to partner with you guys. Thanks so much, Ford, for coming on. We really, really appreciate your time, and best of luck on the show.
Yay! Thank you. Have a great one.
All right, and I'll let everyone know out there that we have more information, as always, on our website, which is coronavirusnow.com.